The startup founder who lowballed me had no idea who I really work for. I was looking for some weekend freelance projects to stay sharp on new coding frameworks. Posted my availability on a developer forum with reasonable rates, $150 per hour for senior level work. This guy Brad from Innovate Solutions reached out immediately. His startup needed help building their mobile app backend. Love your portfolio, Brad said on our video call. But I have to be honest, $150 is way outside our budget. What did you have in mind, I asked. We're a scrappy startup. How about $40 per hour? I know it's low, but think of it as an investment in our future success. I almost laughed. $40 is junior developer rates. For senior level architecture work, my rate is firm. Look man, no offense, but freelance developers are a dime a dozen these days. AI is going to replace most of you anyway. Strike one. Plus, this project is great exposure. When we get acquired, you'll have major startup experience on your resume. Strike two. I've built 3 successful companies. Trust me, I know talent when I see it. You're good, but you're not Google level good. Strike three. What Brad didn't know was that I am literally Google level good. I'm a principal engineer at Google, working on core infrastructure that billions of people use daily. Brad, can I ask what makes you think $40 per hour is appropriate for building your entire backend? Simple economics, buddy. Supply and demand. Tons of developers need work, so prices go down. I see. And you mentioned AI replacing developers? Within 5 years, easy. Why pay premium rates for something that won't exist soon? I decided to have some fun. You know what, Brad? You're absolutely right. Let me make you a counteroffer. Now you're talking. How about $500 per hour, and I'll finish your entire project in one weekend? Brad's face went red. Are you insane? I just explained our budget constraints. Right, but you also said you recognize talent. So let me ask, what if I told you I currently architect systems that handle more traffic in 1 second than your startup will see in 10 years? I'd say you're lying. I shared my screen and pulled up my LinkedIn profile. Principal engineer at Google, infrastructure team, 15 years experience scaling systems to billions of users. Brad's jaw dropped. You work at Google? I design the backend systems that run YouTube, Gmail, and Google search. Your entire startup's traffic would be a rounding error in my daily metrics. Why are you looking for freelance work? Because I enjoy building things, but apparently, I'm just another dime a dozen developer who's about to be replaced by AI. Brad started backpedaling fast. I didn't mean, I was just trying to negotiate by insulting my profession and assuming I was desperate enough to work for junior developer rates. Look, clearly I misjudged the situation. What would it take to get you on board? Brad, here's some free advice from someone who actually builds scalable systems. If you can't afford proper engineering talent, you can't afford to build a startup. I could probably stretch the budget to $200 per hour. You're missing the point. This isn't about money anymore. It's about respect. I leaned back in my chair. You told a Google principal engineer that he's not Google level good. You said AI will replace me and that developers are a dime a dozen. Brad was sweating now. I'm really sorry I had no idea who you were. That's exactly the problem, Brad. You had no idea, but you made assumptions and spoke disrespectfully anyway. Please, I really need help with this project. Our investors are expecting a demo next month. Then I suggest you find one of those dime a dozen developers and hope AI can help them build your backend. I ended the call, but the story doesn't end there. I posted about the interaction on several developer forums without naming Brad or his company. Just the general experience of startup founders trying to lowball senior engineers. The post went viral in tech circles. Hundreds of developers shared similar stories of startup founders expecting Google level talent for junior developer prices. 3 weeks later, I got a message from a friend at a VC firm. Did you know Innovate Solutions just lost their Series A funding? Apparently, Brad's investors had discovered his project was way behind schedule because he couldn't hire qualified developers with his insulting compensation packages. Without proper technical leadership, his revolutionary app was basically unusable. The demo was a disaster and investors pulled out completely. Brad tried messaging me again 6 months later. I've learned from my mistakes and would love to discuss working together at market rate. I replied, I'm sure one of those dime a dozen developers can help you. Good luck with the AI replacement. His startup folded 2 months later. Sometimes the most expensive mistake is thinking you can't afford to pay professionals what they're worth.